I'm in a WhatsApp group and a Facebook Messenger chat all about my 3-year-old niece, and it's just full of constant updates and notifications of photos of my niece. And sometimes I think it's pretty crazy how many photos and videos exist of my niece compared to how many photos exist of me when I was that age in the pre-internet, pre-digital camera, pre-smartphone 1980s. But then again, when I really think about it, compared to how many photos there are of me from the 80s, it's pretty crazy how many photos I have of my own dinner. People who know me know that I love to cook, and sometimes I love to take photos of the things that I've cooked and put them on Instagram. And sometimes I get upwards of 5 likes. I know. And what is the secret of my success? Nobody ever asks. And I'll tell you, sticking slavishly to recipes. I am not the sort of person that can just go into a cupboard and see what's there, have a root about and bung it all in a pan and come up with a delicious meal. Like, I need someone who knows what they're doing to give me strict instructions, and then I follow them to the letter. That is how I cook. And for that reason, there are certain chefs that I really love, and I thought I'd share with you my top 5 celebrity chefs. Number 5, Gordon Ramsay. I own exactly 1 book by Gordon Ramsay, and I don't know where it is. I had a look for it briefly earlier, couldn't find it. I haven't cooked for it in years. I couldn't even tell you what recipes I had done from it in the past. Probably something with pork chops, maybe? Don't know. So why is he in my top 5? Very simply, Kitchen Nightmares remains the single most entertaining programme on British television or American television that has anything to do with food. It's the best food programme anywhere that you can watch. It's better than Come Dine With Me, it's better than Bake Off, it's better than Top Chef, whatever show you care to name. It's the number 1 most entertaining programme because of things like this. Number 4, and that's what I reckon.
It's coronavirus season and people are panic buying all sorts of stupid shit. This shit, jar sauce. It's fucking disgusting, tastes like shit. There's a plethora of fresh food out there where you can just make this without having to drop kick 35 tons of sugar up your guts.
And that's what I reckon is a guy that became a massive YouTube sensation during lockdown, showing people how to cook with fresh ingredients rather than buying jarred sauces, and just making quick, easy food. And he did it with really no-nonsense attitude, really just kind of sweary and everything. I slightly think I want to be him. Like, he just seems really cool and doesn't give a fuck, really no-nonsense, and that's quite an attractive character, right? I'd like to be more like that in my life.
Onion. Cut the onion however you fucking like. I don't give a fuck. Cut it in half, cut it in quadrillions. Just don't use the fucking jar sauce. So there you go, onion peeled.
I'll be honest, I've only seen his first video and I keep meaning to watch more, but then another bit of me thinks maybe that's all I need. It's such a perfect distillation of a thing, like why bother with anything else? I tried for this video to find out what his real name is, and on his website and press releases and everything, it just says that's what I reckon, so that's what he's choosing to go by. That's what he said on his tour poster, so fine. I'm not going to bother digging around any deeper for that. But while I was looking for his real name, I did end up on his website, and the front page of his website is just loads of t-shirts and tea towels and hoodies and other branded stuff you can buy for his That's What I Reckon channel. Just loads of products and things you can buy, and it was a bit weird because there's something really fun and organic feeling about his videos, and then you go on his website and it's a little bit more cynical and a little bit more kind of corporate feeling, like this fun kind of organic thing like his cooking, and you go to his website and it's the equivalent of the jar sauce trying to sell you a product. And I almost feel like that's what I reckon shouldn't be selling you t-shirts. He should be teaching you how to make your own t-shirts, you know? That's what he does with the sauces. Hey, don't just buy a shop bought and printed t-shirt that's probably chock full of E numbers, really bad for you. Just make your own t-shirt, you know? Just get a pillowcase, and then you can cut some armholes in that, and then you just get a Sharpie and just write that, and that's what I reckon on the... You don't have to write, and that's what I... Write what you fucking want, mate. I don't give a shit. But that said, look, I'm not really having... I don't mean to have a go. I realise times are tough right now for anyone in any sort of creative field, and you have to try and scrape any sort of income any way you can. Did I mention, by the way, that I've got a coffee account? If you enjoy the videos that I make and you wanted to donate the cost of a cup of coffee, why not do that? That'd be nice. That'd help me keep my cats fed. Look at this cat. This cat is so hungry that he's literally stealing food off my plate. Or you can get t-shirts now. You can get the Chris Chopping t-shirt, the Chris Chopping coffee mug, the Chris Chopping face mask. I had all these products made as a joke, but they do exist now. You can buy them online and they'll be printed to order, and I'll put the link in the comments if you want to do that. And I think the website keeps most of the money, but any small amount of money that I make from them I will divide between myself and the photographer Michelle Huggleston that did the picture that's on all these. I wouldn't recommend the Chris Chopping leggings. Something not quite right about that. But my favourite one is the Chris Chopping jigsaw puzzle. Look at that. I'm pretty sure there must be some way that I could go back on the website and edit that so that the picture fills the entire puzzle. But I much prefer... Imagine getting that. Like, you could give that to someone. How difficult would that be? They've got to do all the white bits all around the edges. That, like... It's going to be a very difficult, challenging jigsaw puzzle. That'd be very annoying for someone. I don't know why anyone would want to own any of these things, but I'm sure they'd make a great ironic gift for someone. So why not? Also, when I was researching That's What I Reckon and trying to find out his name, I found out a lot of people are quite confused about his gender, and so he even made a video about that, the conclusion of which was basically doesn't matter and you shouldn't care, which is absolutely fair enough. I completely agree. But what I would say is, if he was non-binary or trans or any other type of gender, that would be useful to me, because this video is very straight and white and male. Did I mention I also own books by Levi Roots, Delia Smith and Mary Berry? Look how dusty and faded that one is. That's disgusting. Number 3, Henry Phillips. Henry Phillips is the host of Henry's Kitchen, my absolute #1 favourite YouTube cookery show. Every episode he cooks a different delicious dish for you to eat, and he's just a really charismatic guy.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, where today we're going to be making Henry's post-holiday meatloaf for one.
You know, the sort of person that you just can't help but find yourself drawn to when he's on screen.
And we're going to make these wonderful vegan breakfast tacos in honor of Father's Day. Unless, I think, if by the time you see this, Father's Day might have passed, so you can make them for 4th of July, which is a more fun holiday anyway. So let's get started.
And sometimes, when he's showing me how to do a recipe, in a way I feel like he's learning as much as I am.
I'm going to start by making potato cheese. Just want to peel our potato. You know what, this thing's a piece of shit. Let's just use a knife. It's much better.
And sometimes he'll reveal something of himself when he's cooking tell a little anecdote, you find out a little bit more about his life. It's always nice when you feel like you're getting to know a celebrity, who they really are as a person.
I remember when I was in high school, I had this really big crush on this girl, and when I saw her on the way to school, I guess I was embarrassed, so I turned really quick and I actually walked into a swarm of bees. And I'm allergic to bees, so we had to call 911.
But the only thing is, sometimes I'll watch Henry's Kitchen and I just feel a little bit like maybe things didn't turn out quite how he'd hoped, like the recipe didn't quite come out how he was expecting. I don't know what it is, I just get that sense.
Okay, well I normally like to plate the chicken so that it surrounds the spinach pasta so that you get kind of a nice presentation that way. Normally you want to use a meat thermometer to make sure it's been cooked enough, but I don't think that's going to be a problem here. Oh, wow. Look at that. Top of the morning to ya. Now you can serve your Scotch eggs with just about any sauce you can think of. I'm definitely working up quite an appetite. Let's see, I mean, it should definitely be done at this point.
So I thought what might be fun is maybe I'd cook one of Henry's recipes and see how it comes out when I do it. So let's do that now. Okay, so I'm here in my kitchen and I'm going to have a go at making Henry Phillips holy guacamole with homemade corn tortilla chips. I'm going to see how I get on.
We're going to take 2 tortillas and cover them with cooking spray, and then we're going to stack them, and we're just going to cut them up. Now we're going to lay them out on a cooking sheet. I'm going to use a little bit more cooking spray. And you want to lay them out evenly. Put them in the oven. We're just going to mash it up a little bit. You never want to be afraid to experiment when you're in the kitchen. A lot of the most important discoveries in history have been made by accident. For example, there was a Swedish pharmaceutical company in the early 70s that was testing a new drug for testicular cancer. And what they noticed is while the nurses were examining the men's testicles, the men started getting erections. And apparently that's how they discovered Viagra. Now it's time to throw in some of our ingredients. We've got our tomato, jalapeno pepper, onions, white or green onions, whatever. Put some salt, put some pepper, and I like to put some cumin. Now we'll just mash it all up. Just keep mashing it. Well, Feliz Navidad, everyone.
Henry Phillips holy guacamole with homemade tortilla chips. Delicious. Thanks, Henry. Number 2. Jamie Oliver. A lot of people love to hate Jamie Oliver, partly because he was kind of ubiquitous when he started out as the Naked Chef, and he was everywhere. He was even in his own indie band, of all things. Partly because he tried to take turkey Twizzlers away from school children, and people really hated that, and started trying to put burgers through school gates, like they were passing things to people in concentration camps. It was ludicrous. Anyway, they hate him because of that. Some people find him laughable because he cared enough about school dinners and the work he was putting in to get upset about it on television when people weren't meeting him halfway. Oh, what a prick, being passionate about a thing. And then people were kind of smug when his Jamie's Italian restaurants closed down. People thought that was very funny, as if he wasn't still an incredibly successful man. And like, I get it, when someone's everywhere and they're ubiquitous, then it can be a bit much, and it can get a bit annoying when you feel like you can't get away from some celebrity that's always on the TV, on the chat shows, always in your face. I get it, I do, but I don't care, because I cook loads of stuff from Jamie Oliver's books. I own about 6 of them, and they're really good. Like Jamie's Ministry of Food is really good. The Jamie's 30-minute meals, Jamie's 15-minute meals. My favourite one at the moment is Jamie Oliver's 5 ingredients, and you know I really use this because it's got all bits of paper in where I've put bookmarks in for recipes that I'm going to do, and I really like this book because the food tastes great, but also because every meal is just 5 ingredients. You know, it's not really going to break the bank to get, unless you buy a leg of lamb, that's your choice, but you're not going to have to spend loads of money on loads of different ingredients, and also the recipes aren't going to be overly complicated because there's only so many things going to chop and mix and blend or whatever, and that's great if you don't want things to be overly complicated, and if you're cooking on a budget like I am. Also, Jamie Oliver has made the best fish pie recipe that I have ever tasted. I love a good fish pie, but all too often it's sort of just bland, sort of parsley sauce, white sauce, whatever, bit of white fish, bit of mash on the top, not very exciting, underwhelming. Jamie Oliver's fish pie, you've got chilli in there, and carrot, and celery, and cheese, and there's just so much colour and flavour and texture to the whole dish. It's really delicious. Cannot recommend it highly enough. Here is a picture of my Jamie Oliver's fish pie that I cooked recently, and you'll see there that I used sweet potato instead of regular potato for the mash on top, and I realised that for some of you that immediately means you can no longer trust my opinion on food or chefs or anything to do with cookery, and that is absolutely fine, but trust me, it works. It's really nice. I feel like Jamie Oliver used to be kind of like an annoying teenager, like your teenage son's annoying friend that was always hanging around your house, and now Jamie Oliver has grown up a bit, and he's a bit less ubiquitous, and he's kind of a bit more like a faintly embarrassing dad, you know, like you don't really want him there showing you up in front of your mates, but you still want him to cook your dinner on a Sunday. Number 1, Miguel Barclay. Miguel Barclay is the guy behind £1 Meals, and he is the single chef that I cook more food from the books of than anyone else. Is that a good sentence? His recipes are the most used by... No, that's not. I cook more recipes from Miguel Barclay books than from any other chef, or anyone online, any books. He makes good recipes that taste good and are simple and effective, and the theory is you're supposed to be able to cook them for under £1, and I frequently can't because that would involve an incredible amount of shopping around and going to different supermarkets for different ingredients, but nonetheless they're still pretty cheap and tasty and effective. And what is also good, if you, like me, have a vegan girlfriend, is he's done a meat-free £1 Meals and a vegan £1 Meals. And one of our favourite meals from this is white bean balls, where it has like white beans and onion and herbs, and you kind of make that into a sort of meatball equivalent, and you can serve that with mash and gravy, and just white beans and things. I thought it was going to be really bland, but they are really flavourful and super delicious. So I'd really recommend Miguel Barclay. And he's my number one on the list, and some of the other entries I've done kind of tried to do sort of funny things for, and I can't really tell you anything much about Miguel. I know almost nothing about him other than the fact that sometimes I tag him in photos on Instagram of his food that I've made, and sometimes he likes it, and then I feel excited like I've met a celebrity. That's about it. So, I've already told you about the coffee account, so do give me the price of a cup of coffee if you'd like to do that. Go and buy a t-shirt, why not? And also, if you'd like to just like and subscribe and share this video, all those things would be amazing. If you've enjoyed it, I'd appreciate that. Anyway, thank you, bye. So thanks for watching again, and why not also check out my latest What Culture article, 10 sequels we hope Hollywood will never make, over on whatculture.com, and I'll put the link in the description.